Back to the drawing board. I've forgotten how good Oreos are. They're so good. What's up everybody, welcome back to another video here at Benham Media. My name is Nathan and it's an absolute pleasure to see all of your wonderful faces here today. Thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail. Before we get started, I'm going to let you know that I use the hashtag over on Instagram, which is BMPics2020. So if you are a photographer or if you do like taking photographs, please use that hashtag and I will start shouting you guys out on this channel. Speaking of this channel, if you've seen me more than 3 times and you've not yet subscribed, I think now's the time to do so, don't you? Like, just hit the subscribe button down there. That way you can stay up to date with everything that we do here over at Benham Media. But on to this video. Oh, right. I am going massively outside my comfort zone today. Now, if you follow my work, if you follow me on Instagram or all these sorts of things, you will know that I'm a big fan of black and white photography. I love it. I find a black and white photograph is, I don't know, more pleasing to the eye. Don't get me wrong, I do like taking coloured photographs and I've got many in my repertoire, but black and white, there's just something about a black and white photograph which makes it really, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I favour a black and white photograph over a coloured photograph, generally. But I thought I would go a little bit out of my comfort zone, a little bit away from portrait or street photography and start looking at the finer art of photography. The type of photographs which you look at and you're like, that's interesting. That's really, I wonder how did they, is it a photograph? Is that what? And that's what I'm looking at today. Because generally I'm a portrait photographer. That's what I started out doing when I first picked up the camera. Headshots, portraits, all those sorts of things. And then because I fell in love with the craft, with the magic of the behind the camera work, I guess you can probably say it, that I've started going out around London, around my local area, and started taking some nice photographs as well. But I've really got into, since lockdown, since I've not been able to go out as much or to have many clients come in, I've really had to go sort of outside my comfort box to think of new ways of entertaining you guys and making you guys click to subscribe or click the follow button. And this is one of those times. This is one of those times when I sort of sat down and went, what can I do? And I've decided to mix the black and white theme with the arty theme. So instead of taking a photograph of myself or of Phoenix or of anything else and turn it into black and white and play around with some of the settings, I've decided to use the actual colours, black and white. And let me show you what I mean. So I've got these props here. Here they are, right here, okay? All it is quite simply a white bit of card and a black bit of cards. I'm gonna put them next to each other a little bit like that. And I'm going to put objects on top of sort of to make it contrast a little bit. And so I've gone around my house and said, what is black, what is white? And I've started thinking of chess sets and this, that, and the other. But one of the main things that gave me this idea were these pencils, which I used in a coloured photograph, funny enough, a wee while ago. And I like the idea of them sort of like going together a little bit like that. So we're going to give that a go. And then I started thinking about what else is black and white, and I had these headphones. So I've got the headphones which I use for my laptop when I'm editing in the living room and I'm not trying to disturb like Paw Patrol or Paddington, because that's generally what goes on in my house. And I've got my headphones which I use for my old Google Pixel phone, which are white. Speaking about the Pixel phone, I've got my current Pixel phone here and I've got my white one knocking around here somewhere. So again, I've got black and white. I've bought a pair of scissors and I've painted them half and half as well, black and white as well. And then I'm going a little bit further afield now. Pack of Oreos, minus a few, because I had to make sure that they were safe to use within a working environment. So me and my son tested a couple and it turns out they are. They're absolutely fine to use within a working environment. And one of my other ideas was to paint my hand sort of half and half. Now, the white paint which I brought for this particular thing is rubbish. I bought it from Wilkinson's. It's the kiddie paint which washes off easy, and it just didn't cover anything. Just didn't like that white paint there. It's the stuff I paint my walls with. I literally had to dip them in. So I've come up with a bit of a better idea. Well, I hope it's a better idea. We will soon find out. That I'm going to use my lens ball, which I bought a couple of weeks ago, planning to do a video all about it because I'm loving some of the lens ball work that is out on Instagram and see if I'm able to repeat it. But because it naturally swaps everything over on the inside, that maybe if I sort of can place it on the card, it will swap everything over, or if I have it attached to a wall or what. So I don't know. I don't know how these are going to turn out. It's literally a risk for me to even attempt something like this. Ideally, it shouldn't be too difficult. Ideally. But who knows? So let's get into the setup and we'll find out just how easy it is to create art with photography. Right, so there we go. That is placed nicely, reasonably even on the table. So that's my setup. That's generally all I'm going to do on the table itself. I'm just going to have the black and white, and I'm going to try to put the different objects in the sort of the middle of it and have a nice little contrast of the colours like that. So got all my props back here. Let's crack on to the montage and see how good it is. Let's go. Right, so I have hit a little bit of a snag. So it turns out the lens ball is not going to be as easy as I thought it was. My first plan was to stick a black and white bit of paper onto the wall and see if I can shoot through it like that. The distance was just too much. So then my second plan was to see if I can put it dead center and shoot from the top like I did with the rest of them. That didn't work because it's too close to the cardboard. So now what I'm going to try to do is a little bit of Photoshop magic. So my plan is to take a clean slate photo of the black and white background and hold the lens ball where it starts to flip over, and then on a timer try to catch it just as it's literally where it needs to be, and then rub out my hand in Photoshop, and then hopefully that will look good. Hopefully. So back to the drawing board. Right, so that is it, done and dusted with the actual taking the photograph part. I'm now going to do my best to go over into Lightroom and Photoshop to try to make the photographs look half decent. So for you, it's going to be a matter of seconds. For me, it's going to be tomorrow morning. And yeah, I look forward to showing you these photographs. So 3, 2, 1, next day. Oh, did you miss me? So, oh my God, these have come out brilliantly. I took them away last night, had a bit of a play, but I mean, like, this was probably the most easiest edit I've ever done for any photography challenge or for any client or for anything. Like, no word of a lie, I only moved 3 sliders, maybe 4, 5 at a maximum. It was the contrast, the highlights, shadows, blacks and whites. Bosh. That was it. And they've come out really, really good. So if you take a little look, so I'm going to stick them just up here. And yeah, they've come out a lot better than what I thought they were going to. Like literally by dropping the blacks or bringing the highlights down and this, that and the other, it really sort of like punches the different contrast colors out. And with the different objects, it really makes it nice and different, nice and simple. And yeah, I highly recommend anyone out there to go and give this a go, with it being black or white or any sort of color. I might try colors next just to see how much easier or difficult it will actually be just by using the color grade sliders instead of just the black and whites. But they've come out well. Even the lens ball one has come out better than what I imagined. Yes, there was a little bit more work involved. I had to put it onto Photoshop, take away my hand, try to match the ball up with the actual background, and then I exported that and put it into Lightroom, and then I made the actual same sort of edits that I did with the original. But they've come out well. I'm super impressed by each and every single one of them. And yeah, I highly recommend you guys to go out and try it. If you do try it, please use the hashtag BMPix2020. I look forward to seeing any of your photographs. And speaking of which, let's quickly dive over onto it, shall we? So let's stick the old screen recorder on. And here we are, BMPix2020. And we'll go into recent because somebody new has started to use the hashtag. Thank you ever so much. There we go. So here he is. So this guy here, I've been speaking to you on the group in Instagram. Planger Pictures. I hope I'm saying that right. You are top class fella. You've got some sensational talent. Like, again, it's a black and white photograph. The work with the shadows, the fact that it's peeking around the edges because it's dark, that's it, done. But it works so well if you draw the line down whatever corridor leading to that door, which is just pure white either side. And you've also done this one as well. Like, this is brilliant. Like, I love leading lines. I think I've mentioned it so much. Lines and leading lines and everything like that. It's brilliant. But if you flip across, you can see the actual blue staircases where you got it from. So in fact, you've gone from that to the black and white photograph. I think it's spectacular. And as always, I love this one. Record it now. Wim, your photography, I've said it in the last few photographs, is literally jumping from one place to another to another. That is so good. I also learned a couple of weeks ago that it's called shindering from Schindler's List, where Steven Spielberg kept the red coat in. So that is called shindering, when you keep a certain color into a photograph. So there we go. You've learned something new today. Well, if you didn't know it, then you've learned it new. If you knew it, then it's not something new. And of course, Victoria, wicked. Again, your light trails are at a different level and a different point. So guys, thank you so much for using that hashtag. If you'd like me to shout you out over on the channel, please use it, BMPix2020. But guys, thank you so much. That is it from me today. Hopefully this is a nice quick video. There's not really much else to talk about. But until next time, I've been Nathan. You've been sensational. Thank you and goodbye. Mwah, 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 mwah.